Take off your watch, put it in my pocket, lay down by your side. Nothing can stop us. Now is the time. It comes from Ireland because there was a dog. Now everybody said that this dog belonged to them, but this dog had no master in all of this world. And it would find itself underneath the bridge, and it would live there, and people would pat it upon its back, and they would go, "Oh, my dog, oh, you are my dog, my sweet dog, you are mine." And the dog would always smile, for it would scritch, scratch, scritch, scratch, scritch upon the door, and the doors would open, and at every door that it scratched, it would find food. But one day, this dog woke up. It could see its breath in front of its eyes, and goose feathers were falling from the sky. And there it was, and everyone was walking towards the town, and looking and smiling and talking about a baby that was being born. And it went, and as it got closer to the town, its pads, paws and claws were cold upon the ice. And it came to the first door, and it scritch, scratch, scritch, scratch, scritched upon the door, and the door stayed shut. But the dog could smell fine food coming from underneath the door, and it thought, "'Tis more, no matter, I shall go to the next door." And soon it went, and scritch, scratch, scritch, scratch, scritched upon the door, and the door stayed shut. But this time the dog pulled itself up and looked in through the window, and as it looked in through the window, it laughed in the way that only a dog can. Can you do that for me now? Do you know, everywhere I go it's different, but I've got to tell you this, it laughed and it smiled to itself, for when it looked in through the window it could see that there was a great table covered in food. There was a blazing fire, but in the corner of the room the dog laughed. It's not Muttley. And the dog laughed, and it looked, and it could see a tree inside of a house. The dog could not believe it. And on the tree there were candles, and at the top of the candle there was an angel. The dog thought this was the funniest thing in all of this world, for there were many trees outside. Why would you bring one in? And every door it went to, it scritch, scratch, scritch, scratch, scritched upon the door, and the door always stayed shut. But when it came to the last house, the very last house in all of that town that belonged to the old woman, it scratched upon the door, and the door creaked open. I was hoping for some help here. The door creaked open. It's a big door. I've got to tell you, the door opened up, and there was the old woman. And she looked and she said, "Oh, my dog, my friend. It is good to see you." And the dog looked. There was no fire in the corner, no angel, there were no candles upon the tree, no groaning table covered in food, but the woman did not wait for a wink or a blink. I was still hoping for some help. She did not wait for a wink or a... Wait for it. Did not wait for a wink or a blink. Very good. It only took 2 rehearsals. I'm going to tell you this. And she cut everything upon a plate and put it in a bowl for the dog, and the dog was hungry. And it did not wait for a single heartbeat. It fell upon the food, and it was only as it had eaten that it found itself filled with guilt. But the old woman smiled. "My dog, my friend dog, here upon a Christmas Eve, you are the only friend in this world that I have, and now and she fell asleep. Now she fell asleep by the side of the dying fire. The dog, filled with guilt in its heart, blood and bones, started to walk, and who did it meet as it walked through the town but the proud peacock? The proud peacock was there and looked and said, "Oh, hello. Oh, hello, friend dog. It is good to see you, and why do you walk out like this?" And here the dog told a story of how the doors had stayed shut, and the old woman, faster than a sigh, had carved the food in half, and here the peacock smiled. Can you show me a peacock smile? It's pretty hard if you've got a beak, but I've got to tell you this. It smiled and looked and said, "My master, the butcher, he has coal, he has sticks, and he has sausages. I shall fetch some out." And when it came back out, underneath one wing there were a pile of sticks, and underneath the other arm there was some coal, and in its beak it held the sausages. but the sausages were dragging down in all of the ice and the snow, and the dog, quicker than a wink or a blink of an eye, where were you? I'm going to tell you, quicker than... It's no use looking at me like this. Quicker than a wink or a blink of an eye. Very good. I'm going to tell you, wrapped it about its neck as if it were a bow tie. And if anyone had looked out of the window, they would have seen a dog and a proud peacock walking along and down the street, and there was the dog with a bow tie of sausages about its neck, and a peacock with sticks and coal. But no one did. They were all with all of their friends, standing by the side of the fire and enjoying this Christmas time. And who should be there but the cat? And the cat looked and said, friend dog and friend peacock, where are you going? And they told the story of the old woman, and here the cat smiled. Don't go there. I've got to tell you that the cat smiled and went inside of the house and brought out 2 fish and tied them about its neck like a scarf. And if anyone had looked out of the window, they would have seen the dog, the peacock and the cat, but they did not look. And up in the tree there was an owl. Don't. And I've got to tell you, the owl was there, and down it flew down, and it wanted to join this adventure. And if people had looked, there was a dog with a necktie that was made out of sausages. There was a cat with a tie of fish, and an owl upon its back, and a proud peacock. And when they came to the old woman's house, she was fast asleep by what was left of the dying fire. And the peacock lowered the sticks down upon the fire, and they started to crackle and burn, and the coal on top. The cat did not hesitate. It took a pan and started to fry the fish, and the dog started to fry the sausages. And as the old woman, fast asleep, looked, she could feel the heat upon her skin and the flickering light of the fire, and she looked, and as soon as she opened her eyes, the peacock spread out its beautiful wings, spread out all of its feathers, and she looked, and she said, "Oh, my dog, you have brought me a Christmas tree." For all of the feathers just looked like a Christmas tree, and not to be outdone, the cat looked this way and that, and as it looked, its eyes sparkled and glittered in the fire's flames and looked like candles upon the tree. "Oh, and you were brought for me candles upon this tree." Now, not to be outdone, the owl flew to the top of the feathers of all of the peacock, and with its round eyes and its wings spread out, "And you were brought for me an angel at the top of the tree." And she took the food, and she brought out the plates, with some for the dog and the cat and the peacock and the owl and for herself. And from that time she was never alone, for everyone got to hear of how the dog and the peacock had brought her a Christmas tree, had brought her candles and an angel and food upon a night when whose feathers fell from the sky. Thank you very much.
We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Our tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Now bring us a figgy pudding, bring us a figgy pudding, bring us a figgy pudding, and bring some right here. The tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We won't go until we get some, we won't go until we get some, we won't go until we get some, so bring some right here. The tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas,
Lovely.
we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. The tidings we bring to you and your kin. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Do this with me, okay? The chorus actions are this. Please do it. Please let me sleep on your doorstep tonight. Don't ignore me. Chorus are, please let let me sleep on your doorstep tonight. I'm homeless and cold. I'm homeless and cold. Looks so frightened. And the snow's falling white. The fire through your keyhole looks cosy and bright. So please let me sleep on your doorstep tonight. Let's have a quick run through that. You ready with this? So, please let me sleep on your doorstep tonight. I'm homeless and cold and the snow's falling white. You can always sing at the same time, by the way. A fire through your keyhole looks cosy and bright. So please let me sleep on your doorstep tonight. It's all about a rich man who would not let his poor brother sleep on his doorstep on Christmas Eve while snowflakes fell on his bare body. He was so insincere. It was Christmas Eve at midnight, and a tramp with haggard face, I'll teach you to sit at the front, and a tramp with haggard face was knocking at the door of a rich millionaire's palace. Have you seen this jumper? The rich man in pyjamas with gold and costly furs says, "What are you a wanting of?" The tramp replied, "Dear sir," on your own. "Oh, I need everybody doing this now, I'm watching you. Oh, can't hear you. Oh, please let me sleep on your doorstep tonight. I'm homeless and cold and the snow's falling white. The fire through your keyhole looks cozy and bright." Sing! So please let me sleep on your doorstep tonight. The rich man said, "How dare you," in a manner cold and chill, and from his nose he blithely wiped away an icy kill. It rhymes. While the rich man slept in silk sheets trimmed with lace, the poor man fell asleep and snowflakes fell on his car case. He's singing, "Oh, please let me sleep on your doorstep tonight. I'm homeless and cold and the snow's falling." What has to do with it? The fire through your keyhole looks cozy and bright. Give it a try. So please let me sleep on your doorstep tonight. The rich man called a constable and said, "Remove this man." He shone his torch and he cried out, "Why, it's my brother Dan." It's a bit like EastEnders with a plot, isn't it, really? "You want to sleep on my doorstep, oh you, my brother Fred? You shall sleep on my doorstep. I didn't know you when you said, oh." God tries a lover. "Please let me sleep on your doorstep tonight. I'm homeless and pay attention, and the snow's falling white. The fire through your keyhole looks cozy and bright." Harmony. So please let me sleep on your doorstep tonight. I didn't say louder and longer. Well, the rich man caught pneumonia through standing in the cold, and soon went off to heaven to claim his piece of gold. The angel to the rich man said, "You can't come in, oh no." The rich man said, "Is it so late? And they're full up below." Now, up until now, all evening, you've been singing disastrously in tune, okay? But like this last chorus, out of tune, if you can manage it. You ready? Here we go. Oh, please let me sleep on your doorstep tonight. I can't tell the difference. I'm homeless and cold and the snow's falling white. The fire through your keyhole looks cozy and bright. Like you mean it. So